How's it going, everybody? Nico here. Welcome to the second episode of Getting to the Roots podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the four roots to all health and wellness. Now, I mentioned this in my initial podcast, talking about my philosophy behind health and wellness. And I want to break that down a little bit further for you guys so you can truly understand the foundation of all health and wellness. Now, the roots of all health and wellness are quiet, move, happiness, consume. So I'll break that down in no particular order just to kind of give you my thoughts on the specific foundation, as well as how you can make incremental steps to improve those foundational pieces to your health and wellness. We'll start off with the foundation of consuming. Now, when you first hear the word consume, instantly what comes to mind is eating. What am I eating? Yes, that is a major part of the consume root, but that is not the entirety of it. Consuming is anything from what you eat, to what you drink, to the air you breathe, to the products you apply to your skin, to the media you consume. That's television, podcast, music. All of these things come together to form the root of consuming. Now, first things first, if you're eating junk and you're drinking junk, obviously that's not going to be healthy for you. Now, in moderation, that's perfectly fine. But if you are over consuming those things, then obviously there's going to be some health effects on you. There's been study after study. I can even put a couple on the screen here. I don't need to really go into it, but I'll have them on the screen for you guys to read if you are on the video version of this podcast. So a couple ways you can take those baby steps to getting the consume root in the eating part of it better is start off with just trying to hit your protein target. So most people on average should be eating around 0.6 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So say someone's 125 pounds, they need to be getting upwards of 125 grams of protein throughout the entire day. Now, that should sound pretty high because it is. And what protein does, it's a very satiating macronutrient, one of the most satiating out of the three. And if you're not hitting your protein targets consistently, you'll have a noticeable decrease in muscle toning and muscle strength. Protein is the building block of muscles. Those amino acids in the protein are what's going to build the muscle and maintain the muscle that you have on your body. So not only are you getting satiated, which means you're probably eating less overall other than that protein target, it's going to help you maintain and also build muscle, which is a very protective tissue of the body. The muscle is going to help with keeping your mobility as you age, keeping your independence as you age, and with proper strength training alongside the protein consumption, that alone can make leaps and bounds of your overall health and wellness. Another small step you could do to push you towards increasing your health in this route is making sure you're not taking in too much negative media and being around negative and consuming negative content or like brain rotting content, like a majority of TikTok. Making sure you're consuming the proper content for your interests, your hobbies, and your passions in life is what's really going to add that extra layer of positivity for you. I mean, you are what you consume, and you are the 5 people you hang around the most. So making sure those people and that content is directed towards positivity and growing in whatever field or hobby or passion that you have is going to tremendously help your overall mental state with consuming those things. Now, obviously, you could dive in a little bit deeper with making sure you're having organic food and making sure you're drinking majority water, getting some electrolytes, things like that. But if I were to give you 2 small steps for this consumption route, it's going to be hit your protein targets and drink at least a half a gallon of water a day. Those 2 things, I'll add in a third one. Make sure your content that you're consuming is positive and not negative. That's both for your passions as well as your overall mental state. It shouldn't be anything depressing because that's going to put you in more of a depressed mindset. Now, moving on to the second route. Again, no particular order. I'm just kind of going with the ones that come to mind one after the other. So what's up next on the roots list is going to be quiet. What is quiet? The root of quiet. Quiet is the inner work that you do for yourself. It's your resting, it's your digesting, it's your spiritual practices, whatever that may be for you. And it's that introspective time, the time that you really take a look at yourself and think about the things that you've done and what you can improve on and what you did well. Now, for me personally, I'm a huge fan of 7 to 9 hours of sleep, depending on who you are. There's been studies that show that there is a fraction of the population that can function to their fullest capacity on anything less than 5 hours of sleep. So if you're not getting at less than 5 hours of sleep, you should really be focusing on getting the sleep that you need. Making sure you're not overdoing it at the gym, making sure you're getting the proper rest that you need for your body to recover and adapt to the stimulus that you've given it. So if I'm hitting leg day super hard on Monday, I get up on Tuesday morning and I'm like, I'm super sore. I can barely move. Odds are I probably shouldn't hit legs on Tuesday. You need to make sure you're resting in accordance to your intensity in your work in your training, whether that be weightlifting, a sport you play, running, insert whatever activity here. I love quiet because it is a lot of inner work. I'm a big fan of introspection. I'm a big fan of working inwards of myself. I'm a huge fan of meditation. I'm a huge fan of yoga and those type of inner working modalities. And I'm a fan of reading. That also fits in this category of our foundational root of quiet. So making sure you're pushing yourself mentally with reading and consuming the physical content through words with this quiet root, as well as making sure you're getting the proper rest to correlate with the stress that you've put on the body. And remember, stress isn't just physical, it's also mental. And our body can't differentiate me stressed out about work and me running away from a lion. So making sure you're taking the proper rest time for your stress is vital for this. The third out of the 4 roots that we have today is movement. Now, this one's really self-explanatory. It's how you move through space, it's your activity. What are you doing to move your body on a day-to-day basis? A lot of people get this one mixed up because they think, oh, I have to work out, or I have to be in a sport, or it has to be competitive for it to really work. And I have to kill myself. I have to be so sore that I can't get up the next day for it to actually be effective. That cannot be further from the truth. You can get amazing health benefits and you can start transforming your physical and mental self by just walking every single day. Now, a good target I like to tell people to aim for is anywhere between 8 to 10,000 steps a day. Now, with that, you're hitting roughly 3 to 5-ish miles, depending on your leg length and your stride and all of that. But if you just try and get anywhere between 8 to 10,000 steps a day, you will notice an improvement overall in your health and wellness. Now, you may look at me and say, Nico, you dummy, I only get 1,200 steps every day. That is a bunch of hoopla if you think I'm going from 1,200 steps to 8,000 to 10,000 steps. You are absolutely insane. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And for that, I'd say you don't have to jump straight to 8 to 10,000 steps a day. If you are one of those people that you look at your Fitbit, you look at your watch, your really cool fancy watches with the step trackers and all that, and you're like, holy moly, I am only getting 1,200 steps a day. I work at a desk job. I go home. I want to relax. It's been a long work day and rinse and repeat. I wake up, do the same thing over again. That's perfectly fine. Instead of hitting 1,200 steps, push that up to 2,000 steps. It doesn't have to be a major change. It just has to be a change. And once you're confidently getting those 2,000 steps a day, try and push it up to 2,500 steps a day and kind of step stool your way up to the 8 to 10,000 steps. Again, we're trying to make it as low of a barrier to entry as humanly possible. So if I were to recommend one thing, if you are not exercising at all, point blank, period, I recommend that you start walking. And that could be as simple as parking further away from the entrance to the grocery store. You will not understand how big of an impact that is until you start doing that consistently. I mean, that adds up over time, every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. Movement is medicine. I am a big proponent of that. A lot of the chronic issues today could be solved by eating a little better, drinking a little more water, and moving, and getting enough sleep. That's super important as well. The last root of our health and wellness is happiness. I wanted to put this one at the end because it's a very nuanced thing. It's very interdependent on who you are, your morals, your ethics, and your goals in life. I think happiness is one of the roots that gets neglected the most. What is the root of happiness? It is doing things in your life that truly causes you joy and fulfillment. If you're waking up every day and going to a job you hate, that's only going to negatively impact your mental state. It's only going to negatively impact your health. There's a study out there about like the most heart attacks happen on Sunday night or Monday. I'll have to look it up and post it on the screen. Sorry for the people who are listening to this. That definitely sucks for you. Go watch it on YouTube. But your happiness and your fulfillment in life have such a direct correlation to your overall health and well-being. So making sure you're doing the things that genuinely make you happy and genuinely add some fulfillment to your life is absolutely crucial to your overall health and wellness. For example, this to me is very fulfilling. I get to talk to a group of people. New people can find my content every single day and hopefully we'll learn something new, fun, or exciting. about a topic they enjoy that I might have talked about. That is super fulfilling to me because I can then touch that person's life in some way to make them a better person. Massage is very fulfilling to me. This is a occupation that and my personal training corrective exercise stuff is so fulfilling because I get to directly impact someone's life, and it has a very fulfilling sense to it. I know I keep saying fulfilling, but it's true. And you can find that in almost anything. The thing is, though, you need to truly feel fulfilled. You need to truly feel happy about the things you're doing. If you're stuck in a place in life that you're not happy with, that needs to change, because if you're not happy, your body will notice, and your body will start to show that physically and mentally. So everybody, that is the 4 roots to all health and wellness. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, please leave a comment, share it with your friends. It's super important that we get this out to more people so we can impact more people's lives in some way, shape, or form that can have a butterfly effect outward. Now, if you have any questions about the roots, leave them in the comments below. I'll try and reply to as many as I can, or all of them, because obviously this is a new podcast, so there's probably not that many, if any at all. So leave a comment if you have any questions about it. Leave a comment on some topics or things you would like me to talk about in the future. I think that's super cool that I have that ability to communicate directly with you guys and build content around what you guys are wanting. So with that being said, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And remember, true health comes from the roots.